let's get some cartoons and vodka and do them all night long. Are you ready for some fun? Drink 'em down, drink 'em down, drink 'em down. Drink 'em down, drink 'em down, drink 'em down. Oh.
Hello, I'm Pluto Burns and welcome to Eagleland. I really need to speed up this series. I've been at this so long, Jeff has had time to release an entire video's worth of comics. Please be understanding, my life has been really hectic lately, but I've got my cat ears on and I'm ready to do this. To recap, last time some of our crew went up to space, the library got some interns that introduced fan-favorite characters, and Dora and Ty started dating. We ended with Dale getting a visit from the anime dimension. Dale is apparently being presented with the opportunity to try out an AI virtual assistant on his smart glasses, and they almost certainly checked his browser history before giving him the anime maid skin. He figures a 48-hour trial isn't a big deal, at which point the AI drops the pretense. The sale has been made, and now she can drop the cutesy act for her far more acerbic personality. She doesn't have a name, so Dale decides to call her May, because maid? Whatever, the point is, a couple days after this comic was released, Jeff tweeted about how people were telling him that he should have named her Iris. Get it? And he's like, oh, that's a way better name, but whatever, her name is May, and she is a foul-mouthed demon. Some highlights of their time together include May flashing Faye, her giving really solid career advice, and demonstrating her angelic singing voice. Eventually, Dale gets sick of it, and figures if he can't opt out of the trial contract, he can at least turn the glasses off. He does turn them back on after a bit, and May is all ready to cuss him out, but he puts his foot down and demands an apology, or he turns the glasses back off. And in spite of herself, May gives an apology. Kind of. She would stab me if she heard me say this, but she is being very tsundere. At this point, May fesses up that Dale can opt out of the contract. She was lying about that, but now feels bad about it because Dale is a legit good dude. She admits that she's doing this virtual assistant thing because she's in robot jail for trying to steal enough money to buy herself a fighter jet body. If she can demonstrate a marked decrease in sociopathic tendencies, she will get an early release. Dale asks the obvious question of why she's fucking this up so bad then, and she gives a solid enough answer. Oh, and a fun side thing is that right about now in the strip is the 10-year anniversary comic for questionable content. Yoo-hoo! Yeah! Woohoo! Oh. Hello. Clippy, not where everyone can see us conspiring. Everyone knows you plan your crimes offline. Things come to a head in the May plotline when Dale has to deliver a pizza to Marigold's place. He's been trying to be her friend but isn't great at it, and May is more than happy to dig into him. They meet Momo at the door. Momo can see May and has some very unkind things to say about her. Not based, Momo. Be better. The AIs manage to shove the two nerds in a room together where they actually talk their shit out like adults. They arrange to have an anime watch party together, and this little arc closes with Dale letting May watch the stars before her time is up. Normally I try to keep these videos roughly chronological, but I'm gonna need to jump around a bit for this. So not long after the May adventures, Faye gets a promotion to assistant manager at the coffee shop, and while reviewing the books, realizes that Dora is putting in 80-hour work weeks. Which means it's time to hire some more help in the form of Dale, who is frankly done being a pizza driver. His training under Faye goes really well, and he gets to have a movie night with May, which leads to all kinds of gossip at the coffee shop where Dale is forced to admit that he's a virgin. This is a prime case of characterization kind of conflicting with how I perceive the character. Dale is tall, hot, and a nerd. He should be rolling in dates, but his nerd archetype means that he's uncomfortable with the ladies. Which isn't even me saying that it's wrong, it just feels so weird to me because I would ride Dale like a warthog. The date doesn't exactly go to plan. Marigold ended up having nervous hives and the antihistamines kinda messed her up, so the date out became a date in with pancakes and kissy time once Marigold was conscious again. So from this point to spoilers literally now at the start of 2020, Marigold and Dale are a thing. It's not a perfect relationship, both are still socially inept, but they make the effort for each other. Like when May shows back up on parole and asks to move in with Dale. Marigold gets possessive, but some patented May brand life advice straightens that out. May is our new resident robot character, and she's got a lot of chaotic pint-sized energy. She's really fun, but she's also dicked over by society in a really explicit way that none of the characters are at this moment. But that's everything we've got for May, Marigold, and Dale, so let's roll the pages back a little and talk about Claire! Claire decides to go get her ears pierced, and upon hearing that Martin went with Ty during her clit piercing, drags him along for moral support. That's pretty heckin' cute, but it does lead to a small conflict with Emily. Emily also went and got her ears pierced because she heard Claire talking about it and was much less of a baby about it. Claire's defensive hackles go up, but Emily says she did it because she thinks Claire is really neat and wants to be like her. This admission leads Claire to revealing her trans status to Emily, who is of course really cool about it. Emily says she's really good at keeping secrets, but does not demonstrate much talent in this field. I had almost this exact conversation with a girl in high school. I was all, tell me the secret, you can trust me. And she says, it's not that I don't trust you to keep a secret, it's that I don't trust you to remember it's supposed to be secret. And I'm like, that's fair. Now around this time, the plot starts to get very twisty and interconnected. Faye's promotion to assistant manager at the coffee shop is a definite win for her that she kinda needs because the potential for Angus to get a job in New York City is weighing on her. Ty takes Martin to a college party to see if he can just meet someone or get laid something. The party looks really fun and Martin manages to charm stumble his way into a night of sex with a weed girl whose name he does not remember, but she forgot his name too. This leads Martin to a weighty introspection spiral about how he feels about hookups and what he wants in his life going forward. He has a fun night of beers with Steve and Angus that turns into a much less fun night of sad drinking, cause Martin is in a mood and Angus is worried about how Faye is gonna react if he gets this job. They stumble home drunk and Martin can't sing to save his life, but he really believes in Faye and Angus. Angus heads off to his audition and Faye isn't handling it well. She drinks heavily and Martin is trying to support her, but then suddenly his mom shows up. She was told about Jim the bakery man by Martin's friends and apparently they've been chatting online, so she flew over from California to have a coffee date. Martin is not in the headspace to be a supportive son, and then Angus comes home to a drunk Faye and everyone starts gearing up for fights. Hannelore is also here and has been trying to be peacemaker, but the yelling and the arguing just gets to be too much for her, so she banshee howls and departs to make herself some calming herbal tea. The loud noises help to diffuse the anger. Faye and Angus go to fuck and talk it out. Martin and his mom go for a walk. Veronica is actually really into this Jim guy. She blushes while talking about him. Martin is kind of amazed, but is ready to support his mom. Veronica and Jim's date goes really well. They are open and honest with each other, and Veronica insists on getting to meet Sam, who is being babysat at the coffee shop. The coffee shop run by Dora, who Jim went on a date with. This level of weirdness is exactly Veronica's speed, and she's also just really good with kids, it turns out. Veronica and Jim end up in bed together, making plans about how they're gonna completely upend their lives for this relationship, and fuck yeah, it's gonna rule. Now I'm gonna skip ahead a bit here, but Veronica does end up moving into town. She gets her own house rather than moving in with Jim. Being from California, she finds the housing prices around here adorable. Claire and Martin get a quick house tour, which includes some very phallic accent pieces. Sidebar, this bit where Martin says that he hates that coat rack so much, I cannot read this panel without hearing it read in the same way as the punchline to President Taft's secret pony brigade.
Except Ponita, who is a ridiculous pony! Oh god, I hate you so much, Bonita.
Just me? Probably just me. Now, Faye is doing her best with the Angus situation when he gets a call back for the next level of audition. She sees him off at the train station and heads into work a bit down. And then Sven shows up out of nowhere. Turns out he's been nursing a crush on Faye ever since he cheated on her and exploded their fuck-buddy relationship. And his confession of love seems genuinely heartfelt. But unlike romantic comedies where it's cute when you hit on your best friend's wife, Love Actually sucks, Faye has a relationship and does not have space to help unload Sven's emotional baggage. Sven wanders off to go drink and commiserate with Steve of all people. Faye goes back to work with just one more thing weighing her down. About the same time, Martin has a bit of a weird encounter with Emily. He, Emily, and Sam were hiking in the mountains for some reason, and Emily got bit by a snake. Now, it was a harmless garter snake, but Martin freaked out and tore his shirt to smithereens to fashion a fast tourniquet. It was a pointless bit of chivalry, but it was appreciated, and Emily gave him a sweet kiss on the cheek. This throws him for a loop, and he's all ready to dump his thoughts on Faye, but when he hears how her day went with Sven, he gives her the floor and some weird back cabinet wine.
Now this is some classic questionable content. Faye and Martin sitting on a couch together discussing their weird lives. The comic's about halfway done at this point, and it has definitely drifted from its couch surfing, band name dropping origins. But every so often we go back to the roots. Friends shooting the shit.
Unfortunately for Sven, Dora hears about his confession through Cosette, so he's officially cut off. Dora and Martin are going to take Faye to a new bar with darts in order to distract her from Agus's audition, and Martin invites Claire because she didn't have anything to do with her day off. It's a pretty fun night since this bar attracts a wide variety of clientele. The jukebox is just a thing to behold, and Ty gets to indulge her climbing fetish after winning at darts. Faye is positive that Claire has a crush on Martin, which she denies. The night winds down, and Martin and Claire and Faye go to the apartment for some extra booze. And then this happens. Claire loosens her hair and scratches out the curls. And then Martin decides that it's totally okay for him to run his fingers through her floofy hair. Faye isn't so drunk that she doesn't see where this is going and leaves them alone. Martin is drunk and isn't really trying to seduce Claire, but his fingers are magic, man. And Claire snuggles in for more. The kiss, oh my god, the kiss is so close, but Claire doesn't want this to go any further while Martin is drunk. She's a responsible library intern even now.
I can't even, my ship is finally coming in! I've wanted this so long, ever since they fell asleep on each other at the wedding. You did not hear that!
So next morning, Martin tried calling Claire and her mom picked up and invited him to have pancakes. Claire comes downstairs to him just casually eating in her kitchen like he wasn't about to steal her heart last night. Claire hurries him away from the approving mother Aurelia, sputtering for answers, which Martin has. He felt so natural and romantic with her last night, and is pretty sure Claire shares the feeling, and wants to explore those feelings with her. And he even has a great answer for how he feels about dating a trans woman.
Oh fuck, I'm getting high on hormones over here. This is so gushy romantic for my heart. Nothing could ruin my good mood right now.
Angus comes into the coffee shop. He got the part! His dream job has been achieved, and Faye can't be happy for him. She can't actually handle the distance, and all her insecurities crash down on her. She doesn't have answers for Angus, but the relationship has ended.
Okay, why are these happening at the same time?
I'm not kidding, these plot lines are simultaneous. Martin comes into the coffee shop walking on clouds of romance to find Faye right after Angus left. This kind of interweaving plots are handled in such a way that it feels so real that one friend's love life goes well while another falls to pieces. Real life is filled with ill timings.
I'm not actually mad about this. I appreciate the tone mixing. It's not tone whiplash, because the two plot lines are separate yet interweaving in a way only long-running serial fiction can be.
And this trend continues. Martin and Claire's relationship is off to the races with some really cute dates. And Faye Faye gets worse. She drinks heavily. It's so bad that even Pint Size tries to step in. She brings alcohol to work to stay drunk, and Dora catches her. This was a step too far. Faye was explicitly warned not to drink at work. Dora has to fire her best friend, and Faye goes home to drink more. Martin comes home to a turned-off Pint Size, and Faye passed out in her own vomit. The hospital sequence is unsettling. It's not immediately clear if Faye is going to be okay. She survives the night without permanent physical damage, but the stress was horrible for Martin and Hannelore. Dora feels bad about having to draw a line, but says she will make sure the insurance company will cover Faye. And Faye has to grapple with being a destructive alcoholic now.
This is a harsh turn for the series. It's not a quick fix. It ripples through the narrative. It is an achingly sincere depiction of addiction, and I think it's fair to say Jeff put a bit of himself in this. Faye and QC will never be the same again.
Whew. Now, it's not all gloom and doom. Claire is there to comfort Martin, and let's just say they get to some sexy shenanigans. Faye's exit from the shop while carrying her welding gear is just a beautiful page. The art has really upgraded right around now, especially with the switch from tall vertical pages to wider pages with more freeform panel design. Just a few more stories to clear up. Claire wants to set up her brother Clinton with one of the enormous back catalog of ladies. He ends up trying to flirt with Emily, but he's not great at it, and Emily is weird. He still snags a date, which goes chaotically. He tries impressing Emily, which spirals into some absolutely bonkers behavior and a tattoo on his arm. It does lead him to getting punched, but Emily still had a fun night. Wildly, though, this does not lead to them being a couple. Emily had fun, but it isn't really looking for a relationship right now. Clinton comes clean about his uncharacteristically wild behavior, and Emily gets to do a rant about how people assume she does stuff just because she's weird. And she is weird, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have reasons for her behavior.
Yeah! Weirdo rights now! And also some pineapples.
We get a bit of an internal life for Momo and May, who are becoming friends. May really helps Momo get out of her comfort zone, and May just likes having a dorky friend. And we are going to close out today's video with Faye looking for a new job. Faye jokingly suggests the underground robot fighting arena. Later, Pint Size says that he isn't saying he knows a guy for that, but he totally knows a guy for that.
And us old QC fans know exactly where that plotline is going. Yes, the greatest hits just keep on coming. Thank you for your patience with this video. I know it took a while, but it turns out puberty 2, polyamory, and a new job, kind of a lot of time commitments. Still, keep your eyes on this channel. I intend to make some big swings this year. And until next time, I'm Pluto Burns, and this has been Eagle Land.